It's a golden morning in West Texas. The birds are singing and a gentle breeze is blowing through the trees. It's a beautiful day, and this small paradise is located just outside of Midland. This little-known pecan orchard is owned and run by Silviano of the Pecan Tree Partners. It is the largest and fastest pecan processing facility within 100 miles. It all literally starts from the ground up, where each tree has its own irrigation. When the pecans are ready to be harvested, they start out by shaking the pecans out of the trees using a mobilized tree shaker. From there, each pecan is hand-raked and gathered for processing. The pecans are brought to these bins for cleaning, washing, and sanitation. Once they are clean, they are dumped into bags and containers and taken to the main processing room. The processing room is an extremely clean environment. All employees are required to wear specific jackets, hairnets, and around certain machines, hard hats. The first step is cracking the cleaned pecans. They are dumped into the cracker and the gauges are set to whatever specified pecan it is that needs to be cracked. The gauges are now ready and the clock on the cracker is set to complete up to 700 pecans per minute. The cracker is then started and the pecans are brought from the funnel up into the cracker using a conveyor belt that brings one pecan at a time up to the cracking mechanism. Here, they are cracked and released down a slide into a chute where an elevator brings them up into the sheller. Once the pecan pieces reach the barrel of the shelling machine, the barrel rotates in one direction, while a rod with individual fingers rotates in the opposite direction, separating the pecan meat from the shell. The pieces then fall through the slots of the barrel into a vibrating tray underneath the shelling machine. This vibrating tray is connected to another elevator where some of the shells are separated and sucked out through a vacuum tube, and the remainder is fed into the funnel of the separator. The pieces travel down the funnel onto another vibrating table that sorts the pecans into bits, large pieces, halves, and large halves, as each size drops through. It lands in its individual slide towards a chute that has another, more specific vacuum suction to remove any remaining shell. The shells travel up through a series of PVC pipes where they are collected in large buckets to be recycled later. While this process removes most of the shell, there are bits that make it through. In that case, the bin is taken over to the rerun machine, where it is sent down another vibrating table and the last remaining shells are taken through another vacuum and placed in a bin. From that point, the containers of the shelled pecan meat are carried over to the inspection table and dumped into another funnel. This table is comprised of another set of vibrating trays on which the pecans travel down as they are hand inspected to make sure there are no remaining shell particles or impurities. From the inspection table, the pure pecans are taken to the dryers and dried out, so they don't retain water but retain the pecan oil. To make sure the pecans don't lose their oil, a special tool is used to gauge humidity. If they are going to be cooked or candy-coated at the facility for retail, they are transported to the on-site kitchen. When the pecans arrive at the kitchen, they are candy-coated, sugar-coated, glazed, then baked to perfection. The final step is to package the product in bags and tins. They sell the packages individually or offer gift baskets for their retail customers. Now that they are packaged and ready, they are brought back from the kitchen where they are put on display for visiting customers and businesses. In the end, all of the retained shell particles are gathered from their various locations into a large pile outside the processing room. From the pile, the shells are placed around the bottom of the trees as mulch, so the water from the irrigation system is retained better and lasts longer, in a successful effort to conserve water and keep the trees healthy for the next season. If you have your own pecans that need to be processed, they will also process them for you, or they will buy them at market price. If you would like to sell them, they take batches of all sizes, from a grocery sack to a load from an entire 5,000 tree orchard at market price. You can find or visit the Pecan Tree Partners facility at 4601B North County Road 1162 and North Loop 250 in Midland, Texas during their season starting in October and see the entire process for yourself.